Hi guys and welcome back again to the TechTech YouTube channel. Although the graphics card manufacturers prefer to offer customers aftermarket cooler solutions over the reference design ones, you will still see a bone stock model here and there as it presents a cheaper option to buy, especially if you're planning to put a water block on it. On that topic, Asus just recently introduced their GTX 960 Turbo model, which is something in between of being a reference design but with some aftermarket tweaks. As you can see, the product box is a bit different than your usual example of an Asus graphics card packaging, with a big picture of the white graphics card on the front of the box, which is a rare sight. On the bottom you can see some technical key points, like the fact that this is a factory overclocked model and that it also carries a dual ball bearing fan, which is a part of a dual intake style blower cooler. Moving to the back, we are seeing some more details about the cooler, alongside of the mention of aftermarket improvements of the components for enhanced durability and cooling of the card, as well as a basic list of specifications with a picture of video outputs next to it. Opening up the box, in it, beside the user manuals and optical disc with drivers and software, you won't get anything else except the free 15-day premium account status for the World of Warship game, which kinda compensates the lacking bundle. Last but not least, here we have the graphics card itself. The overall design of the card reminds us a lot of a standard reference design with its typical blower style cooler example, but in the case of the turbo model we have a bit of differently designed outer shell with a completely white theme followed up with few red accents and details. As for the build quality, it falls behind and feels a little bit on a cheaper side, as we have a lot of plastic covering up practically the whole graphics card. Other than that, there is really not much to talk about. Going to the back of the card, you can see that the PCB part of it is shorter than the cooler itself, as it needs a bit more space to incorporate that dual intake fan. If that back hole was closed, we would practically witness a completely referenced GTX 960 cooling system design. For powering up, the GTX 960 Turbo model uses one 6-pin PCI Express power connector, and since we are already talking about connectors, we also have one SLI bridge connector for two-way SLI configurations and a standard set of video outputs, 3 display ports, one HDMI and one DVI. Connecting up the graphics card and taking it for a spin, we see a pretty standard performance output as usually seen on the GTX 960 series, ideal for 1080p gaming at high settings. Just for the fun of it, we put the Gigabyte GTX 950 Extreme next to it, and as you can see, the difference isn't that big, they are almost dead even in some cases. Although the GTX 960 Turbo version has 75 MHz more on the boost clock than the reference version of the GTX 960, it doesn't bring that much difference in the end, 1 to 2 FPS at max. Of course, you can always do some manual overclocking and bump that up a bit, but don't expect getting an above average result on account of its cooler.
Eyes on a hostile AT soldier, just west of your current position.
Speaking of the cooler, we were very pleased with it when it comes to idle temperatures and fan noise, while in regards of load temperatures, not so much. We were seeing temperatures as high as 80 degrees Celsius under full load, but at least the GPU clock didn't throttle down, and it was even a bit higher than claimed, standing still at 1290 MHz. In that state, the cooler was being classically blower style vacuum cleaner like noisy, and at least to us pretty irritating, but nothing uncommon for this type of cooler. Thank you guys once again for checking out our unboxing and review of the Asus GTX 960 Turbo graphics card. Feel free to give us a thumbs up if you like this video, leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product, and of course, if you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to our TechTech YouTube channel, or you can check out our other videos from before.